Hey!
Yo, 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious is out today. What up, Lauren LaRosa?
Good morning, y'all.
Charlamagne the God.
Peace to the planet. It's Monday. Good morning. How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. What's happening?
That's right. It's Monday morning, back to the work week. How you feeling? How you feeling, Lauren?
I feel good.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm great. I had a great weekend.
Good weekend?
Was at home with the family.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the award shows. Y'all watched the NAACP Image Awards?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, my
I watched.
God.
You know what, though? I turned it on.
Saturday. It should have did it Sunday.
Yeah, but I turned it on. When I turned it on, I literally turned it on when Vice President Kamala Harris came to the stage to do her speech. And then it was another time I saw it. Gabrielle Union and Taraji P. Henson were introducing an award for BET. And Scott Mills came up there and accepted the award.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I saw.
Nah, I didn't see it. I had an old man moment this weekend.
I think
What you mean you had an old man moment? You an old man?
I was about to say, I had
a moment, though. I was walking outside. It was just Friday. And it was still cold. And I slipped on the ice. And boy, wow. I was skating and dancing for at least 30 seconds. And I was trying not to fall. The next thing I know, my feet went over my head. I was on my back. And then I didn't just pop right up. It took me a second to get up. Like, I had to think about it. I had to reevaluate life in that moment.
Was this outside your house?
Yes.
So you got video?
Of course.
Can we see it?
No.
Yeah, that happened to me early in the winter too, man, walking to the mailbox. And I was on the phone too. And you know what was so crazy? I was on the phone and I fell and landed straight on my back, didn't hit my head or anything like that, and never got off the phone. and the person that I was on the phone with never knew I fell or anything. I just got up and kept it moving. And it just lets you know that, your reaction to things is what makes you embarrassed or not. Because if nobody's around and nobody sees it, did it happen? It's just you in the ground knew you fell, and God.
But it hurt so bad. Like, I fell on my back and my ass, right? Mm-hmm. And when I say I was hurt. Like, I was like upset. Like,
was you in pain? Oh, so your ego was hurt.
My ego was hurt, and I was in pain too. I ain't gonna front. I was in pain. But then when I felt it, I kind of slid a little because it was ice. So it wasn't just like you felt. It just got. I kind of like slid a little. And it was funny to me. But I had that moment. That
black ice. That black ice will make you racist. That black ice will be like, you know what? Keep rolling back all the DEI initiatives. Keep dismantling the EEOC. Whatever you got to do to stop blackness, do it, because Lord have mercy, that black ice ain't no joke. You hear me?
Yeah.
It's getting warmer this week, so we're gonna get rid of all the black.
Yeah.
How do we deport black ice?
Can we deport black
ice? Huh? Is there a way?
I don't know, but we got a special guest joining us. We have defensive attorney Joe Tacopina joining us. That's ASAP Rocky's attorney. He was also Donald J. Trump's attorney, Michael Jackson's attorney, Alex Rodriguez, Meek Mill's, YG, Swiss Beats, Neo's, just to name a few. Foxy Brown's attorney.
He worked on Michael Jackson's case, too, back in the day with Johnny Cochran.
Yes, sure did. Yep, so we're going to be talking to him in a little bit. And we got front page news, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, DJ NV, Charlamagne the God, and Lauren LaRosa. Happy Monday. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Feeling good.
Peace, Morgan.
Good. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So, topping the headlines, Elon Musk says all federal workers must report what they did last week or be dismissed. In a social media post, Musk said employees will receive an email requesting information about what they worked on in the last 7 days, and any failure to respond to that email will be taken as a resignation. Now, the move comes after President Trump said he'd like to see Musk be, quote, more aggressive in his efforts to slash the federal workforce. Now, in the first month of Trump's presidency, thousands of federal employees have been fired. The first of what officials say will be a wave of layoffs. Now, speaking of layoffs, the Trump administration is set to put all civil servants employed by the USAID, the U.S. Agency for International Development, on administrative leave Monday at midnight. That's today, as well as cut 2,000 employees from that agency. A notice reviewed by The Hill shows that this maneuver is being called a reduction in force and was delivered from the office of the administrator. Hundreds of employees contracted to work with USAID were fired following that order.
Hey, now, listen, salute the FBI Director Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard for telling their employees no, they not responding to Elon Musk's email. Okay, like Elon Musk is not an elected official. He's not the president. Voters didn't vote for him. How is this immigrant from another country, able to tell? able to tell the government what to do with their money, and how is he able to tell government officials, hey, you got to send me an email telling me what it is you do? Salute. I'm happy that they pushed back on Elon Musk this weekend. Kash Patel, the new FBI director, and Tulsi Gabbard absolutely pushed back on him. I'm happy to hear that.
People were still responding to the emails, though. I got some friends that work, and I was with them when that email came out, and they were gathering, like literally teams were calling each other.
I'm sure they were
just
nervous
doing
and scared.
They
got
literally
families,
were so scared.
Homes, and expenses and bills. They got to make sure it's paid. So I'm sure
it
they're
was
nervous.
like just a cross your T, dot your I type of thing.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. And if you live in a DMV, it ain't cheap. I'm just telling you. So yeah. But in another news, President Trump says he will not provide federal funding to states that don't comply with executive orders related to transgender women in sports. Now, speaking to governors at the White House, Trump's had an exchange of words with Maine Governor Janet Mills on Friday over this executive order. Now, earlier this month, Trump did sign the executive order that banned transgender women from participating in women's sports. Trump and Maine Governor Janet Mills had a bit of an exchange, which resulted in Trump telling her that he doesn't see a future in politics for her after her term ends. Let's hear more from that exchange, Trump and Mills.
Are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal law.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. Your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state, good, I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
So if you couldn't hear the Maine governor Janet Mills, what she was saying, she was basically telling Trump that she will see him in court and that she's going to continue to comply with federal laws. And to which Trump said in the audio you heard, "Yeah, I am the federal law." So,
why are folks still talking about trans athletes? Like, that is a losing talking point. America's not with it, and they keep making a micro or macro with that conversation. It impacts such a small group of people, but it makes a whole lot of people think folks lack common sense. So why are they even having that conversation? And I can't believe it's states that still want to die on that hill. Like, none of these states have a high percentage of trans athletes. So what's the issue?
Maybe it's just protecting the overall arching issue of trans rights, or that's still an ongoing thing. That's still a developing issue.
I don't know the probability, but I'm sure it's a higher probability if most people don't want men playing in women's sports, especially if they have daughters that practice. Right. And that I'm sure the probability is pretty high.
It's just not a high percentage of trans athletes in the country. Period.
Right.
So I know state to state it has to be even smaller. So whatever.
I'm not sure. Maybe they're just again getting ahead of the issue. But to your point, yeah, I mean, don't die on the hill, y'all. There's so much more we could talk about. But yeah, speaking of which, we'll talk more on at the 7:00 hour. It seems like my time is up. We'll talk about the Ukraine and Russia situation. Seems like there's going to be an update with that.
All right. And everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Get it off your chest. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Wake up, wake up. Wake your ass.
This is your time to get it off your chest. Whether you're mad or blessed, we want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
This is Rico.
Rico, what up? Get it off your chest, Rico.
All right, so look, I was checking out John Hope Bryant podcast, Money and Wealth.
Legend.
And I hear, yes. Can we get a bomb drops for John Hope Bryant?
Drop the bombs for John Hope Bryant, Money and Wealth podcast, available on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. Anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yes, sir. But anyway, I was listening to the podcast, and Charlamagne, your ad popped up, and I hear, in a new wig for Lauren LaRoche. And why are you always on Lauren head, man? It's crazy.
Well, no, first of all, I'm not always on Lauren's head. It's bad wigs that are always on Lauren's head, and it's an ad for Amazon. And I'm just talking about products. Like, I'm talking about products you can get at a discounted price on Amazon. And I don't
even know why you would put my wig and discounted price and Amazon together in one sentence.
Why you gotta shoot at Lauren all the time, man? It's crazy. Lauren, you gotta start shooting back, baby, all right?
Thank you.
So there's a promo running around with him talking about your wig and that you get it off at Amazon.
You know what that sounds like to me?
Price?
A defamation lawsuit.
Crazy.
Defamation.
It's crazy.
Listen, I I'll win that case so easily when we go to court and they see your wig.
Stop playing with my.
Be like, Your Honor, look at this wig.
We got Mahogany in here now, and she is that girl. Stop playing with her.
Okay. Hello, who's this?
Okay.
Hey, what up, man? It's Jamal out of Houston, Texas.
Hey, Jamal, you called at the perfect time because somebody needs some confidence. Go, Jamal.
Oh, gosh.
Bad. I called Lauren LaRosa. Check your DMs, all right? I'm in there, baby girl. I'm single, ready to mingle. I hope you are too.
All right.
He's single, ready to mingle. What's your Instagram so she can see what you look like?
FN_Bonds, BONDS.
Look it up now.
How old are you using phrases like single, ready to mingle?
He's definitely 40.
Don't worry. Look, Charlotte, I've been wanting to tell you about yourself for a long time, all right? But I'm using my time right now for her, all right?
No, get him, babe. Go ahead.
Now,
Right, get him, babe. Now
look,
he babe,
Drake
huh?
ain't lose nothing. Drake ain't lose nothing, all right?
I know Drake lost a lot of sleep for the last year and some change, okay?
No, he didn't.
I'm not arguing with you.
All right. Well, she's looking you up. You found it?
I don't even. What did he say?
She don't see it. You better.
No,
you
what's
better.
the Instagram? FN what?
FN_Bonds, BONDS.
FN_Bonds.
FN, yeah.
I can't see anything. He has, like,
Oh, he's
it's
private?
a private page.
Oh, he's a private page.
Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me,
Yeah, genius.
He about to make it unprivate for you right now. He about to make it
Let me-
unprivate.
let me-
You did DM me. You DM me on Friday at 6:36 a.m. on Friday.
What he
you
said?
was
What he
doing?
said?
He said, when you gonna give up this single?
hold on. You ain't got to put me out there.
You
You
give
ain't
this
gotta
what?
put
Your
me
single
out there.
what?
He basically said when I'm coming home.
Oh, when he coming home?
This might be your future husband and you putting his business out there.
My bad.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We got to analyze you. Make sure you're
You
not
called
crazy.
the radio station telling me to check the DM. You know the listeners want to hear what you had to say.
We got to make sure you got a job and all that.
All right, man.
All right, man.
I like the energy. I like the fact that he sent the message, but then he did a follow-up phone call just to make sure you received said message, and he's willing to put himself out there over the air for everybody to express his desires for you, Lord. I respect that.
I don't like the single ready to mingle. Like that seemed like he really our age.
He does the electric slide for sure. Like
He
he was there
definitely
when they
does the
first
electric
started doing it without the clap.
First of all, the electric slide is not an age thing. You too should know the electric slide if you are black.
I do it, but y'all been doing it before they start doing that extra clap when they bend over. That's a different age of the electric slide.
Yo, goodbye, man. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
So you better have the same energy.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, DJ Envy, this L Boogie, yo.
What's up, L Boogie? Yo, get it off your chest.
Hey, I need to wish my niece, Simone McKelvey, she works at the mayor's office in Newark, New Jersey, a happy birthday on yesterday.
Come
You
on.
might
Oh,
not-
I forgot to hit cuz up and tell her happy birthday.
That's your cousin for real?
Oh, man, yo.
I heard he say McKelvey. Oh, okay.
Hey, they might not be up. They went to the Lil Wayne concert in Charlotte last night.
Oh, they was okay.
Yeah, she might not be up this morning, but if she is, happy belated birthday on yesterday. And my son, rest in peace, he'll be 37 on tomorrow.
Hold on, this Lawrence?
Happy birthday. Yeah,
Lawrence?
This is so.
What's up, cuz?
What in the shit,
I finally got it in.
I know this. I'm sitting there listening like, hold on, who the hell is this? It's my cousin Lawrence, man. Most corner South Carolina all day, 843.
843 all day, you know.
Why you didn't say you was his
Yeah,
cousin first when you called?
Why you starting there?
Like, is this a real thing or no?
No,
Hey,
this is my
Jeff,
cousin.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, beautiful. I'm so sorry. I want to say good morning to you.
You sound like Charlotte cousin.
Good morning to Lauren. If she's there, tell
This
Lauren.
is Lauren. Hey.
See, he sound like Charlotte cousin. All right, man.
No, this is my cousin. This is my first cousin, my daddy's nephew. Okay, his parents
it
are
is.
uncle and aunt Lottie and Uncle Harris.
I don't
This
know
my
why he didn't
family
call and
family.
say, hey, cuz. What's
Hey,
up, cuz?
this is Charlamagne's cousin.
What's up, Lenore?
Hey, I was, but I didn't know who I was going to get on the line. Normally, you on the line at first, so that's why I just say, what up?
So, yo, cuz, L Boogie, tell us a Charlamagne story right now. A good Charlamagne story that we don't know. Go.
I ain't got nothing bad to say about my cousin. He repping. He repping 843, 803 all day, every day. And we so proud of him. We proud of him down here in the SC, man. What can I say? I can't really say nothing bad.
Oh, I wasn't asking bad. I just said any story, but okay. All right, we appreciate
any story. I don't have no good story. He a little younger than me. But.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for calling in, L Boogie.
I'm gonna hit you up later, Cut.
He not gonna hit you up, bud.
All right, man. Thank y'all.
You definitely. You're not hitting him up.
No, that's not true. This I actually talked to them.
Oh, okay. That's the side of the family you talk to them. And salute to my cousin Jamal. It was his birthday yesterday too. Salute to Jamal. I forgot to call him yesterday for his birthday. I totally forgot. Well, happy birthday,
happy
to
born day, Simone. I swear I didn't even know that yesterday was her born day. I was talking to her last Wednesday too. She frequents Hastoria in Newark quite often. She don't even want to use my employee discount, family discount.
I love that.
Oh, well, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, you can hit us up. Now we got rumors on the way.
Yes, we do. The NAACP Image Awards went down, and Kerry Washington wanted to make sure she didn't fumble that Tyler Perry bag. So we're gonna talk about it.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get to Jess with the Mess.
News is real. Whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies.
She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mess.
On the Breakfast Club.
She's the coach of shit.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back.
And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
So we are going to get to the NAACP Image Awards, but before we go there, I did want to take a moment. This happened on Friday after we were done our show. News broke that Miss Violetta Wallace, the mother of Biggie Smalls, had passed away. She died of natural causes on Friday morning. So I did want to take some time to just, send some love to her family, to Biggie's family, and send a rest in peace to her. Now,
definitely rest in peace to Miss Violetta Wallace.
Yes. And when you talk about Black legacy and Black family, we then can segue into the NAACP Image Awards, because it was so much of that. Saturday night, the NAACP Image Awards went down. It was hosted by Deion Cole, and I loved watching it because so many people showed up this year. So if you missed it, please go back and watch it on BET. So many people showed up this year.
I wonder why they did it on a Saturday this year.
I said the same thing, but then I was talking to Eddie, one of our EP, and he was saying that a lot of times the BET Awards, the different awards that they do, are on Saturdays. I do feel like it should have been on a Sunday, how other award shows normally are, but the SAG Awards also did come on yesterday as well.
Okay.
Jane Fonda had a moment or whatever, so maybe that's why they couldn't do, I don't know, but it was on a Saturday. Keke Palmer won Entertainer of the Year. Outstanding voiceover performance, Blue Ivy Carter and Mufasa. Outstanding actor in a motion picture, Martin Lawrence. Outstanding actor in a drama series, Michael Rainey Jr. for Power Book 2, Ghost. And y'all know 50 was going off about that. I think everybody was excited for him.
Yep.
50 said, I'm so happy for him. He's worked hard in this moment. The NAACP is really all we got. We do bigger numbers than a lot of shows, but we don't get nominated because of diversity. Now, I did want to take a moment. I mentioned Keke Palmer at the top of this, and she won Entertainer of the Year. She kind of spoke to what 50 is saying as well. Let's take a listen to Keke Palmer.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think I was going to win because, girl, you killed that role. You kill every role you do. I mean, your power, your vulnerability, your strength, you are exceptional. Obviously, Shannon, my hunky-unky, I love you, Bookie. And Kendrick and Kevin, I mean, it's such an amazing category to be in with all these people. I just want to say it's so important that we all come here together and celebrate one another with one another. You don't always have to ask at a seat at nobody's table. Just make your own table with your folks. You know what I'm saying? And so while we continue to ask for more money, it's important that we remember that what we choose and what we deem as important is enough.
Is it a committee for the NAACP Image Awards? Like, do people vote? Like, how do you win those awards? How do they determine who wins those categories?
That's normally how all award ceremonies are, but I don't know that to be fact. I can look it up for you, but I'm pretty sure that there is a committee of people who vote.
Okay. And what did Chloe do? Did Chloe do anything? I know she came up here with them.
Yep. Chloe actually, she presented Michael Rainey with his award. She came out with Journey, who is Jussie Smollett's sister, Journey Smollett. She looked amazing, by the way. Like, she had on this silver dress. It was amazing. It was fire.
So basically, they wasted my cousin's time. They had her going all around with them, you know what I'm saying, to do promo for the NAACP Awards and just had her present an award.
Yep. Well, I mean, they must already had their host slated. So
she didn't perform?
No, I don't remember seeing a Chloe Bailey performance.
She didn't do the pre-carpet? Nothing?
Everybody did the pre-carpet. You mean like
did she host the pre-carpet?
I didn't see her hosting a carpet, no.
Okay.
But again, there was a lot of... One thing I did see, which I thought was so brilliant, Kyla Pratt was on the carpet for BET, and her and Keke Palmer had a moment, and it was so dope to see, like, just, we watched them on TV our whole lives. I thought that was really smart of BET as well, but I did not see Chloe hosting a carpet. Now, another person who was who was shown some love at the NAACP Image Awards was Dave Chappelle. He accepted the President's Award, and he also talked about, just how special these awards are. Let's take a listen.
Each and every artist in here, every opportunity we get, every time we're on camera, on stage, we just keep chipping away at this monster of a machine. But tonight I feel invigorated because all my Netflix checks cleared. I don't owe anybody any work. Right now, every time you see me, just know I'm only up there because I want to be right up there.
That's important to say.
That's amazing.
That's because he don't have to be nowhere that he doesn't want to be. So if he's there, it's because he wants to be there.
100%. Now the Wayans family. So Marlon, Damon, there was a ton of the Wayans family out at the NAACP Image Awards. They were inducted into the Hall of Fame, and they spoke as well too. And a lot of what they were talking about was like really just a big nod to their brother Keenan Wayans. Let's take a listen to the Wayans brothers.
On May 5th, 1965, my brother Keenan Ivory and I watched young Richard Pryor make his television debut on The Ed Sullivan Show. Richard was animated and hilarious with very clean comedy routine. While I was seeing a funny comedian, Keenan was seeing his future.
Keenan told Ma he's leaving college to go be a comedian. My mother said, "A comedian? Boy, I've known you your whole life. You ain't never said nothing funny." And needless to say, my family was over the moon. When Keenan first got his stand-up appearance on Johnny Carson, we all watched on a black and white TV. From that day on, me as a child, I sat there and I was like, wow, you mean not only can you dream, but you can make your dreams come true.
Man, dropping the clues bombs for the Wayans family. The Wayans family is a dynasty, one of the greatest family dynasties we've ever seen in entertainment.
Yes.
I didn't see, I did catch that part too. I didn't see Keenan up there. I didn't see Keenan or Sean up there.
No, I don't believe I saw Sean, but I know Keenan wasn't there. When they were presenting the award, everything was like to him, and they were talking about how they wouldn't be there if it wasn't for him, but he wasn't there. But yeah, and their sister was there as well too. They also had Damon Wayans Jr. was there. They just, I don't know, it's like generations of iconic.
It's legacy,
natural talent.
I love it.
Yes. Now, another moment that happened last night, Kerry Washington was accepting an award for the 688. And she gave a thank you speech, and she thought she forgot a little something. Let's take a listen to her thank you speech as she accepted her award.
I want to thank the fans. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank my family, my husband, my children, my parents. I want to thank Netflix. I want to thank Tyler Perry and Nicole Bon. I want to thank our beautiful award-winning Best Cast Ensemble. And I want to most importantly thank the women of the 6888. The 855 women of the 6888 who prove to us how extraordinary black women are, how extraordinary we have always been.
Now, in this award, I want to say it was a big night for the 6888. They took home a few awards. And right there and in there, we were listening to her win Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture, but they also took home Outstanding Ensemble Cast in a Motion Picture too. She thought that she forgot to thank Tyler Perry. And you guys heard her thank Tyler Perry. She came back out during someone else's segment to make sure she got it in. Let's take a listen to that.
I did not thank Tyler Perry. I did?
You did. Yes. Yeah, no, people were like, wait, you did, you got it. Tyler Perry reacted to this and he basically said, you know, he was moved to tears. He can honestly tell that, you know, he didn't really know what he would be given in his life, but he knows he did something good and he's getting it back in return. People was like, she want to make sure she keep getting that Tyler Perry check.
You goddamn right. Tyler wrote 3 movies for her right after that. Right after she gave that other thank you. He wrote 3 more movies for her.
Right.
I'm sure.
And last but not least, VP or former VP Kamala Harris was there. She received the Chairman's Award. Let's take a listen to her.
I thank everyone here for your tireless advocacy and for your years of support. As everyone here may know, I grew up inspired by the work of the NAACP, seeking to always live by the words of a distinguished NAACP founder, W.E.B. Du Bois, when he said, "It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year." And this sense of urgency is what we must have today. What we are up against in this chapter in our American story, this chapter will be written not simply by whoever occupies the Oval Office, nor by the wealthiest among us. The American story will be written by you.
Yeah, so last night was all a bunch of that. It felt, not last night, I'm sorry. Saturday night was all a bunch of what we just heard. It felt like a big hug, a big family reunion. They honored Quincy Jones and a lot of other people in memory as well, too. They had like a little music segment for him. It was a fire show. Like, I thought that this was a really great year production-wise for the Image Awards. And people popped out. The people popped out for them as well, too. So.
That's dope.
Well, salute to BET. Salute to the NAACP Image Awards. It was on BET, right? I saw it on
I watched
TV
it on BET.
Land or TV One or something.
It was on a bunch of things.
I watched it on BET's app.
Yeah, so salute to BET, and I'm glad. I'm glad people are showing up. I'm glad people are showing out, and it's a great thing.
Outstanding male artist Chris Brown. Got to make sure I mention that for Jess.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a good night, and I'm
you
glad
better start showing up to the NAACP Image Awards because you ain't gonna have nothing else in a minute. I'm telling you right now, Negro.
You better do exactly what Kara Washington did. She interrupted a live segment to bring Tyler Perry to tears. Right. Give your people their flowers.
And Charlotte, didn't your one of your podcasts win an NAACP award?
Oh, Native Land, right?
Native Land, yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. Salute to the Native Land podcast. Dropping the clues bonds for the Native Land podcast. Angela Rye, Andrew Gillum, and Tiffany Cross. They won. Don't give me the line, but they won an NAACP Image Award.
I was coming back on stage to make sure we shouted them out.
I know that's right, Envy.
That's right.
And salute to Carrie Champion, the Naked podcast. She was nominated, as well as R&B Money with Tank and Jay Valentine. They were nominated as well. So make sure you subscribe to all those podcasts on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network, as well as Reason Choice Media for Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum.
And as we wrap, the Native Land podcast won Outstanding Podcast in News and Information.
There you go.
Congrats to them, and we're wrapping it up now. They waving his finger.
All right. When we come back, we got front page news. Then attorney Joe Tacopina, he's the defense attorney in the A$AP Rocky case. He was defending A$AP Rocky. He also represented people like Donald J. Trump, Michael Jackson, A-Rod, Meek Mill, just to name a few. He's going to be joining us. Great conversation. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. What up, Morgan?
What's up, NV, Charlamagne, and Lauren? Let's get back into it, okay? So the White House says that the Ukraine war could end as soon as this week. That's good news, right? Speaking to reporters on Saturday, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said the president is very confident he can get the deal done this week, and they're focused on negotiations. A change in tone from last week, where Trump suggested Ukraine is responsible for Russia's invasion, and then when Zelensky wondered why he wasn't asked to attend U.S.-Russia peace talks in Saudi Arabia, Trump called Zelensky on social media a dictator without elections. So on Friday, a reporter asked Trump if he thought Putin was a dictator, and here's what he had to say.
I think that President Putin and President Zelensky are going to have to get together because you know what? We want to stop killing millions of people. I want to see a ceasefire, and I want to get the deal done. I think we have a chance to get the deal done.
So more on this Ukraine's
Hold on,
president.
that was his answer to the Putin is a dictator question?
Yes, it is. That was his answer to the is Putin
So
a
he
dictator?
just deflected.
That's what he said. Yes, he did.
He just didn't answer it. Okay.
Pretty much. So more on this. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's ready to step down if it brings peace to his country. The Ukraine president made the offer at a news conference on Sunday, saying, if it is peace for Ukraine and you really want me to leave my post, I'm ready. Now, he said he would willingly trade his position for immediate NATO membership. So if Zelensky steps down, that means that Ukraine will then become a member of NATO. So we'll continue to watch that situation and see what happens with that. And other presidential news, the president is supposed to be meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron later this week at the White House. Switching gears, a former Army Chief of Staff says President Trump's firing of the Chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff is tremendously destabilizing to the U.S. military. General Charles Brown Jr. was fired on Friday night in a move critics say was an effort by Trump to get rid of the diversity initiatives in the U.S. military. Appearing on ABC's This Week, retired General George Casey warned of the danger of sudden senior personnel changes, especially those who lead our military. Let's take a listen to retired General George Casey's comments.
When you remove so many senior leaders, especially without justifying and giving due cause, it creates huge uncertainty in the ranks. That's extremely destabilizing at a time that's a lot going on domestically and a lot going on abroad.
What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it's interesting with these conversations, right? Because what I don't understand is if they are saying DEI means that a lot of people who lack experience are getting these positions, how are you firing actual experienced people but replacing them with people with less experience?
I'm not sure that they're even necessarily being, I guess they would be replaced, but, how do you, I
just don't understand how you justify that. Like how do you justify getting rid of, him? It's interesting. I don't know.
I don't think you can. I really don't think you can justify it, even if you're saying it's for the purse. If it's, it's a bigger thing and it's a matter of, this tax cuts and all of these things. That's one of those. That's one of those personnels that you can't justify cutting. Find it somewhere else. Find the coin somewhere else, guys.
And when you General Charles Brown, that's it, right? Like you just retired at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, go on vacation, I guess. I don't know. But all right, let me bring things home to you guys in New York. The drama does continue. New York City Mayor Eric Adams' federal corruption trial is officially being delayed indefinitely. So a federal judge overseeing the case is considering a request by the Justice Department to drop the charges against Adams. This is the first update on Adams' case since the judge held a hearing on Wednesday. On Thursday, New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced that she's putting limits on his power rather than remove him from office. Now, Hochul's decision comes after allegations that Adams made a deal to cooperate with Trump's immigration policies in exchange for the Department of Justice order to drop the federal case against him. Now, Hochul told CBS Face the Nation she doesn't want to undermine the will of the voters who elected Adams, despite the outrage over the Justice Department ordering his corruption charges to be dismissed. She said she'll resist any attempt by President Trump's administration to influence politics in New York City. Let's hear more from New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
We are not allowing the Trump administration to interfere in the operations of our city. But I will always stand on the fact that we are a nation of laws. And one individual, the governor of New York, should not use her voice and her will to override the will of the voters. We have an election in a few months in a primary. Mm-hmm. I'm going to let the voters decide, but I'm also going to be very cognizant. I need to keep an eye on this situation.
Didn't Eric Adams just recently sue Trump after all that? Didn't he sue him for like $80 million or something like that?
Yes, the $80 million that I guess I want to say they took. It was already part of the New York budget, but it was taken. And so Mayor Eric Adams is suing for that. There's not too many other updates outside of the fact that he has filed the lawsuit. But Hochul, she said she would rather allow this year's mayoral election to play out, which the primary election for you guys in New York is June 23rd, 2025. So I'm sorry, June 24th. Primary election day in New York is June 24th. So you guys make sure you exercise your right to vote. Critics say that this order is part of a quid pro quo for Adams' cooperation with the Trump administration on immigration. I really thought that we were going to be kind of done with this story once, Hochul said she was just going to limit his power. But it does seem that it's a lot going on up there. So I will keep you posted. Mm-hmm. So that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit BINnews.com. One more thing, guys, we are watching a situation out of Rome in the Vatican. The Pope is in grave condition right now, so I'll keep you guys posted on that as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Morgan.
Thank you.
All right. Now,
if you pray for the Pope, is that more powerful than the prayers he can do for himself?
Oh.
I'm just asking.
I don't know. But that is front page news. I do have a question before we go into our next guest. Charlamagne, did you go to Red Lobster this weekend? I know you said you was going to go.
I did. I went Saturday.
How was it?
It was actually all right. I went there to get some Red Lobster to go. I had the lobster roll. The lobster roll was actually busting, but I was high, so I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I actually had two things. I got the lobster and shrimp pasta with marinara sauce, and I had the lobster roll. And the lobster roll, I mean, both of them was good, but the lobster roll was really good because I ate that later when I was high. Oh, my God.
Okay. All right. I got to try some this week. All right. Well, thank you again, Morgan. Now, when we come back, Attorney Joe Tacopina will be joining us. You know him. He's a defense attorney for A$AP Rocky. He also represented celebrities like Donald Trump, Michael Jackson, A-Rod, Meek Mill, YG, Swizz Beatz, Foxy Brown, Neo, just to name a few. And we're going to talk to him next. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. We got a special guest in the building.
A$AP Joe.
He has represented A-Rod, MJ, Meek, the Washington Commanders, Donald Trump, Foxy Brown, Neo, Swizz Beatz, and of course, A$AP Rocky. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Attorney Joe Tacopina. How you feeling this morning?
Tired, but really good. Really good. It was a 5-week war, but I've never been happier. I mean, those two people, when I say those two people, Rocky, Rihanna, are just such great people. I've gotten to know them over 3 years really well. I babysat for one of the kids during her Super Bowl performance.
Wow.
They're just good people. They're really, for real, good people. You know, you just listed a bunch of people I've represented. Rocky stands out.
Really?
As a terrific guy, yeah, really.
You know, it's interesting. People always, when we see these cases, they always wonder how the client is doing, right? Like, how is A$AP? But I would think it's just as more mentally and emotionally draining for you as an attorney.
You hit it, man. I mean, because look, obviously they have the stress of the unknown, right?
Yeah.
What's going to happen? It was a lot for me, but of course, you know, they suffer in a different way because one day Rihanna brought the babies to court, and people were thinking it was a ploy, like some sort of maneuver to get the jury to feel sympathy. The jury's not feeling sympathy. They know he has a wife and kids. She brought him to court because that could have been the last time he'd seen his kids for a decade or more.
Wow.
That day.
Wow.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's why she brought them. And people, a prosecutor made a big deal of it in his summation, which I thought was a fatal mistake, quite frankly. But
And what gave you the confidence that when they offered you that deal, you said F that? Because the world was like, he's facing 24. He'd only have to do 6 months.
Which is 3 months.
In community service.
And you're a black man in America. First thing I said, I was like, man, why take the deal?
I was thinking take the deal. And I'm thinking it's LA. They're going to let him go in a day anyway because the jails are overpopulated.
Yeah.
So what gave you the confidence to be like, I mean, obviously you guys won, but you weren't scared and be like, well, maybe we should just take this deal.
And whose idea was it?
To not take the deal?
Yeah.
It was, Rocky and I had a 1 minute conversation. Literally 1 minute. Rocky, here's their offer. I don't want to do it, Joe. What do you think? Let's go.
Ooh,
I mean,
love that.
So you didn't even think about it?
We thought about it for a second. And then, but it required him to plead guilty to something he didn't do, right? It required him to say, I'm guilty of assault with a semi-automatic weapon. 7 years suspended sentence, right? Which means he's under their thumb for 7 years. 5 years probation. So if he crossed against the red, they could take him back. Yeah, it's 6 months, which means 3 months, but it was a career ender for him.
He'll lose deals and stuff.
Oh, Gucci was gone. I mean, I've been dealing with Gucci for 2 years on this. Gucci, Puma. You know, all his shows, he couldn't travel out of the country with felony conviction. I mean, it was a life changer for him. And more importantly, he maintained his innocence from the minute I met him 3 years ago. Maintained his innocence. So it was really a quick decision. Yeah, people like, God, this guy has onions doing that kind of stuff, right? How do you do that? But I also felt very confident.
I know that there's like discovery, so you get to see like what the other side has, so that helps you like craft your defense and stuff like that. But at what point did you guys have everything? Like you knew everything up front, or were things added as things were going? Where like you ever got nervous, like
they try to trick you, they throw it in. Oh, what about this? We forgot about this.
Well, after we picked the jury, they came with a ballistics report that had been done 1.5 years ago, and they said, "Oh, we just found this now. We missed it." So I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Right? And like that kind of those games happened throughout the trial, but whatever. I'm used to that kind of stuff and didn't phase us. I knew we had a defense. My defense was to eviscerate this A$AP Rally, this absolute pathological liar. And I eviscerated him in a way that, I told this jury, I said, you guys had a front row seat, the history, because you just witnessed the worst witness in the history of American jurisprudence.
Jesus.
I mean, he imploded. And by the way, I'm considered, top cross-examiner. Anyone could have done, you could have cross-examined him. I mean, really, it was that. The guy was his own worst enemy.
Have you ever met a man that couldn't rat right? He couldn't even rat right.
That guy couldn't rat right. He cursed in a courtroom with a judge, a jury. He cursed to the jury. He told the jury, I lied because I didn't want to answer this guy's question anymore. He's annoying me.
He said, you're annoying. Yeah. I was like, oh, man.
Sorry, I don't mean to annoy you. You just want your $30 million and you want to just leave? You don't want to answer questions? Like he's sued for $30 million over knuckle scrapes. This guy's a clown. And he's a liar. He's an admitted liar. He's an admitted perjurer. He lied at least to this jury 20 times and was caught committing perjury. I caught him in multiple. At one point during the summation, I said, this next one's my favorite. This is a perjury miniseries because he lied. It was like this series of lies about whether he shot a gun before November 6th, 2021, the day of the incident.
Wow. Is it true that the police searched the area, didn't find no shell casings, but then all of a sudden he came with them?
Stupid story. So he's claiming Rocky shot 2 pops him, and Rocky did shoot 2 from a prop gun, a start pistol, and the whole story as to why he had that. But if he shot 2 shots from a real 9mm, 10 minutes, the 7 cops came within 10 minutes with searchlights, those flashlights. They have body cam, thank God. They searched the exact spot where this incident happened. 7 cops, 20 minutes, that's 140 minutes of manpower. And they're looking, they find nothing. Nothing. No evidence of a shooting, no broken. There's a parking lot right next to it. No cars that would ding, nothing. He claims he comes back an hour and 45 minutes later, goes to the exact same spot the cops were searching, bends down and finds the 2 shell cases. I mean...
So what happens now? Because I know you mentioned when you walked out the court, you want them to pursue him for perjury charges.
Yeah, I want them to. They should. I mean, the district attorney's office was and should be embarrassed by this guy. I mean, he absolutely played them like a fiddle. We had a tape, which he first, by the way, a tape of him and a mutual friend of Rocky and Relly's. And he said that there was a recording. And when he heard the beginning of the recording, he realized what that was. He was like, "Oh, that's fake. Get that away from me. That's fake. It's not my voice. It's AI. It's that's fake. It's AI." So then I had to call the poor guy who made the recording in.
Wally.
So yeah, that's from Paris. He was in Paris, this poor guy. So that's my voice. That's Relly's voice. He said this stuff. I know nothing about this case, but yes, I'm here to authenticate the tape. And on the tape, what Relly's saying is, if he gives me $30 million, I'll disappear to an island. And they'll never find me. The DA can never find me, and they can't prosecute their case. It's like, and this is his example, not mine. It's like, when you smack your and she files charges against you, if she doesn't show up, the case is way weaker than.
That's what he said on stand?
No, he said it on the phone call.
Oh, on the phone call, yeah.
So that's like where his mind goes to. But his thought was, I'm gonna disappear to an island. The DA will never find me. So I stood behind the 2 district attorneys. I was like, so they'll never find him like this, and they're just sitting there like sleeking down in their chairs. I'm like, he tried to sell his criminal case for $30 million. That's called extortion. So he should be prosecuted for extortion. He admitted perjury. He was caught other times committing perjury when he didn't admit it. This guy's a one-man crime spree on the witness stand alone.
What about this civil suit that Relly filed when everything first started moving? It was it's a defamation suit against Rocky.
It's an assault suit against Rocky, defamation suit against
me.
You.
Yes, there's 2 of them. So, are you now going to submit to file for dismissal?
The tall ones.
Look, I'm that case is running its course. I'm dealing with it on my own with Rocky. Rocky has the assault case. I mean, that thing is on life support now, obviously. I can't imagine this guy ever want to get back on a witness stand again. He can't withstand it. I mean, he was, again, a horrible witness. Even there were people inside that courtroom, who were there, who were part of this process, who said, how do they proceed with this guy? How can they proceed?
It makes no sense, yeah.
And they did. But we had a prosecutor who was hell-bent on winning, not doing justice, hell-bent on winning. And when you have that, it's a dangerous thing, because they have the weight of law enforcement behind them. And the prosecutor's job, and I used to be one, is not solely to just secure a conviction. It's to make sure you're doing right. And when a witness continually lies on a witness stand and perjures himself, and that they are, sometimes it's okay to take a step back and reevaluate.
All right, we have more with Joe Tacopina when we come back. He's the defense attorney for ASAP Rocky. He's represented celebrities like Donald J. Trump, Michael Jackson, A-Rod, just to name a few. And we'll talk to him next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess, and we're still kicking it with attorney Joe Tacopina. He's the defense attorney for ASAP Rocky. He also represented celebrities like Meek Mill, Swiss Beats, YG, Neo, Foxy Brown, Michael Jackson, Donald J. Trump. Now, Charlamagne?
The celebrity help or hurt? And it's kind of a little layered question, but I I asked the celebrity help or hurt in cases like this because I know when you're a juror, they'll ask you questions about Rocky, but did they ask the jurors about Rihanna?
You know, they were obsessed with, I loved it. I mean, they were just so obsessed with Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make her part of this case. She wasn't part of the case. The jury knows who Rihanna is.
Mm-hmm.
They know who she is compared to, in relation to Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
They saw her there every day. So I didn't need to inject her into the case to make it like we were playing on her celebrity status. Quite frankly, I don't think jurors were going to acquit him because, he has Rihanna. So let's be damned with the evidence. Mm-hmm. Let's just acquit him. But they were so obsessed with focusing on Rihanna. Oh, Rihanna, they don't, you have to treat everyone equally. It's because Rihanna's here. I was like, keep going, man. Just keep going. Keep reminding them that Rihanna's here and talk about her. Because if I did that, it would look like I was pandering.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that mattered at all. I honestly don't. I mean, I think they looked at the evidence. I mean, look, if Relly turned out to be a great witness and I couldn't destroy him like I did, I don't think the jury would care that Rihanna was sitting there.
The first couple days though of it, she wasn't there, but then she came that Wednesday. Right. I believe it was that Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Why wasn't she there those first couple days?
Because the kids were in New York with her because the LA fires were still going.
Okay.
And they're very protective. I mean, she's a mother hen. She's really protective of those boys. And the air quality was really bad. That first week of that trial, and my eyes were like, we'd walk out of court. I was staying downtown LA so I had a 2-block walk to my hotel, and it was pretty bad. You felt something, you smelled something. Mm-hmm. So I think it was an air quality issue, and she kept the boys away, and she doesn't go anywhere without those kids. So she wasn't going to leave them in New York and come here. So, but she, we knew this was going to be a long trial.
Yeah.
So she made it.
I was going to ask, when you take a case, do you have to believe the person?
I have to believe in the person.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Break that down.
Yeah. So I don't prejudge anyone. I'm not the judge, jury, and executioner, right? I've represented people who have probably done what they've been accused of doing. But it doesn't mean they're bad people and don't deserve representation. If we all had our worst 10 minutes of our lives captured on video or something like that, I don't think we'd all be happy, right? Mm-hmm. If I love a person or think they're really good people and they just made a mistake, I can deal with that. I'm not going to suborn perjury. I'm not going to make up a story, but I'll help them get through it. And that sometimes that means just mitigating the damage, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes. With Meek's case, for example, right? Meek committed a crime, he pled guilty to it, but this judge in Philly was obsessed with him and had him under probation for over 10 years. No one ever, he was a kid, he was a teenager when his crime was committed. 10 years later, he's still in the probation. If he came to court with White Sox, boom, 2 more years probation. She wanted him under his thumb. She wanted him to make a record about her. I mean, it's like there was an issue going on there. So it wasn't like we were saying Meek was innocent, but he served his sentence and he was being abused by the system. And the district attorney came around and agreed with us, and eventually I got that dismissed. We resolved the case, and that judge was relocated to a civil part.
You a legend, Joe.
Did you know that the Free Meek Mill movement was going to be as big as it was when you signed on to that? Because it grew crazy. So insanely.
That was crazy. No, because at first I didn't realize how big that was and how loved that guy was, especially in Philly. I mean, he's like Rocky in Philly, right? And so I called Reverend Al, who I'm very close with, and the Reverend. I said, can you come to Philly with me and to visit him in jail and maybe make a stand here? This judge is really giving them the once over. And, I think I need your help on this one. And the Reverend said to me one thing, is he a good guy, Joe? Am I going to get embarrassed or is he a good guy? I said, no, Reverend, you will not get embarrassed here. It's worth it. He's a good guy. And more importantly, he's getting run over by the system. And he has the wherewithal. He has a voice. That means 99% of the people in that system in Philly don't have that voice, don't have the wherewithal, and again, trampled on. And it's true. They reformed that whole probation system in Philadelphia because of Meek in our case. Mm-hmm. It put a spotlight on it, Mm-hmm. So it was an important case for a lot of reasons. So I take on these cases that I believe in. I've turned down a lot of cases that could be lucrative or even very high profile. Harvey Weinstein was one. He'd try to hire me and I wouldn't.
Why not Weinstein?
I told you that thing about having a bond with somebody, feeling like, people have been charged with some horrific things, but I could tell there was good inside of them, or I just had a good connection with them.
You didn't feel that with him?
No. Did not feel that with him, no. Did not feel that with him.
Real quick, because that's interesting. You represented Donald Trump in the Stormy Daniels case. Was there ever even a chance of you winning that? And the reason I asked that is because
not in
it was politicized. You know what I mean? It was politicized. It was all over the media. Everybody knew it was a target on Trump.
Yep.
Like, they wanted to nail it.
No doubt. That was not a case that would have been brought for anyone, and I mean that. Whatever your opinions are of Trump, I'm talking about the defendant. That case would never have been brought if it were not him. It was a case of first impression. Think about it. It was a settlement of a personal matter, right? An alleged affair, consensual, nothing like, but she was basically trying to get money from him to keep it quiet. He paid her. Whether it happened or didn't happen is irrelevant. He paid her some money. End of story. He didn't take a tax deduction on it. He didn't file it in his campaign thing. I mean, he paid with personal money. Somehow they try to make that into a false filing in his own records. So because he put payment legal fees or whatever in his internal records, the district attorney charged him.
When you take a step back, right, and I'm sure people have asked you 1,000,001 times, and you look at, for example, this Diddy case.
Yeah.
Would you do a lot of things different than his attorneys actually doing? Because it seems like they're already losing, and it doesn't make sense. What would you do different?
Well, I wouldn't go out in the press and make pronouncements that are later disproved quickly, because you tend to lose credibility. I mean, there was this whole thing, like the stupid baby oil thing, right? Who cares, first of all, how many bottles of baby lotion he had in his damn house, right? But that became like this battle line, and they went out and said, he just bought him in bulk at Costco, right down the block from his house, and that's why he has it. So no big deal. He bought baby oil. First of all, it's 1,000 bottles. No one buys 1,000 bottles of baby lotion in bulk. But that was what he said. Of course, then Costco then comes out with a statement. No, we've never sold baby lotion in our life.
Jesus.
Not one Costco store ever sold baby lotion. So, boom. Now it looks like somebody's lying. You don't need that kind of stuff.
Or the Cassie video, too. And they came out strong before the video dropped.
Right. Yeah, that was before he was charged.
Yeah.
Now, look, here's the thing with the Cassie video. That's horrible. Cringeworthy, right? You don't do that. You don't put your hand on a woman. I don't care what the story is. I wouldn't anyway. Not how I grew up.
Right.
But what does that have to do with these non-consensual freak-off things?
Freak-off.
Yeah. What did that video have to do with that, though? And I would say, well, and that's the one count of the trafficking. She's the one person in the trafficking count. Like, what does that video have to do? Okay, maybe she should be charged with domestic violence in state court. But what does that have to do with a non-consensual freak-off where people are being alleged to have non-consensual sex because they're drugged up and they're being gang or whatever? I don't see why that video was so... Yeah, of course, that video has been played and showed, and people think, like, oh, he's guilty. But he's guilty of what? Assault of a woman who was his girlfriend. That doesn't make him guilty of everything else. Now, I don't know enough about the case. I was asked to take a look at the case. As another case, I said I would not be interested.
Really?
I just wouldn't be. No.
Same reason? Connection is...
It's different a little bit. I represent Rock Nation. A lot of people in Rock. I'm very close with Jay and Desiree Perez, who's most amazing. Like,
love him.
Palm of a boss. Jay,
love him.
Amazing. Jay Brown. All those people are just like, they really are special people, and they, that's sort of family to me. And I don't think they're sort of
see eye to eye on things.
See eye to eye with P. Diddy.
I just want to throw that out there.
No,
because remember everybody was saying
they were best friends.
They were like when Jay said they weren't friends, everybody was like, they were in pictures together all the time.
Okay, everyone was in picture with P. Diddy at one time or another. I went to a party, but when things got real years and years ago,
they didn't see eye to eye. All right, we have more with defensive attorney Joe Tacopina. When we come back, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And we're still kicking it with defense attorney Joe Tacopina. He's the attorney for A$AP Rocky. He represented celebrities like Donald J. Trump, Michael Jackson, A-Rod, Meek Mill, just to name a few. So we were asking you about Diddy earlier. Do you think he should have got a bail? And do you think he didn't get a bail?
Yes, he should have got a bail. That I do.
Break that down, because I said the same thing. People thought I was crazy.
No. What? He was willing. First of all, it was another mistake I thought they made, saying, he'll have a ankle bracelet and stay in his mansion in Miami. But,
and monitor who comes in and out.
Case in New York. Staying at a resort in Miami with a pool is not exactly really something I would offer up to a court. What I would have said, remember that guy DKS, the French guy who was charged here with the of a maiden hotel? I forget his name, Dominic Strauss-Kahn. His bail, he got bail. And the reason he got bail was he said, I'll rent a place here in New York. I will stay inside. I'll pay for security. And I'll have a bracelet on. That's a concession. I think maybe if they had done that from the beginning, that may have been something that happened. There's a presumption of innocence that we still have to not... people have forgotten that in this country. A lot. He is innocent right now. P. Diddy is innocent. Whatever you think of him, whatever you think the evidence will be, no one's seen a minute of testimony yet. He's presumed innocent until and unless the prosecution proves that case beyond a reasonable doubt. They may do it one day, but not today. And keep someone in jail for a year awaiting trial, they have to either be a flight risk or a danger to the community, or they've done something so horrific like a murder, right? Where, bail is not necessarily common. This is a case of having parties that got out of hand, and there's allegations of sexual misconduct.
So for Diddy, would you have advised him if you were his attorney when Cassie first reached out to just paid the money?
Listen to me. That was a legal train wreck. what happened with Diddy, because this all could have been avoided. He had that case with Cassie, right? And it was all about a civil case. There was no prosecutors involved. There was no FBI, nothing. They wanted a settlement, and, Diddy's lawyer said, no. They were closed, no, but no. And they said, well, we're going to file a lawsuit if you don't give us a settlement. And we're like, go ahead then. Bad move. But it was an avalanche that came around him. And the only reason it happened is because they didn't settle that case civilly. Because if that Cassie case was settled and went away, no one would have heard anything. Nothing. There were no other people coming after Diddy until that thing was filed.
Right.
But if you're going to settle, you settle before they filed the lawsuit. That's what you're settling for, to prevent that public damage, right? But you don't let them file it and then settle a day later. That's the worst of all worlds, because then it's an admission and then bam.
You worked on the Michael Jackson case. Is it true that Johnny Cochran told Michael Jackson once, don't settle with anybody, because when you settle, you become a piggy bank?
Yep.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you feel that way for all cases?
Not for all cases. I think each case is different, right? Like, sometimes a settlement is a good thing. Not because you did it or because you want an admission, but take Diddy as an example. Sometimes a settlement will save more money than you could ever imagine later and more heartache.
Right? Well, he actually did it. I'm talking about people because I've seen cases where people would settle just because they don't want the bad press.
Well, nuisance.
And they don't want to end up spending a whole bunch of money in court for the next 4 or 5 years.
I've represented some very, very famous people without the case ever become public that have settled because it's not worth it. People do settle all the time. What's called a nuisance settlement, just to make sure that they don't wind up on the front page of the New York Post, TMZ, and, on the Breakfast Club.
I just saw just now that A$AP Rocky was named the first ever creative director of Ray-Ban.
Yeah.
I remember after the case happened, you talked about telling Gucci to hold off on the Gucci guilty, which is an amazing scent, by the way.
I know.
But for me, when I heard you talk about that, and I'm seeing this now, I think about even though he was proven innocent, were there people who walked away, in the midst of this? No? Everybody said.
So I was dealing with all of them. I mean, I was like on conference call, Gucci, Puma, all these different brands who worked with Rocky who wanted to know what was going on, giving them updates. And I would tell them, we're going to win. But you got to wait. Gucci guilty was my biggest heart attack, because of all things to be called a cologne, Gucci guilty. and they wanted to roll it out before Valentine's Day. And I'm like,
that would have been so
in the middle
dumb.
of the trial, I'm going to be summing up on Valentine's Day. Can you do me a favor and just wait another week? They're like, well, it's Valentine's Day. I'm like, I don't get that. Call it Gucci not guilty. How about that? Put a little knot in there and then let it roll. But you can't call Gucci guilty. So what they did was we compromised. They put the ad out with Rocky in it, holding the bottle of cologne, and there was no Gucci guilty. It was just the cologne and Rocky. But if you looked at the bottle, you had to get real close. It would say Gucci guilty on the bottle, but they didn't put those big letters. Now there's all the big letters, and now I don't care.
Right, gotcha.
So now I don't care. But that was nuts.
One of my favorite movies, Devil's Advocate, Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino, and in that movie, Keanu Reeves plays the character named Kevin, and he's representing somebody, but in the midst of representing him, he realizes, oh, guilty. Remember, dude.
Yep.
Have you ever been in a situation like that? Like in the midst of it, you like, wait a minute, I think this motherfucker actually did it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It wasn't this case. Okay. Look, I've tried 120 jury trials, and again, a chunk of those was the prosecutor. But there's been times where I believed in innocence, and I saw some evidence halfway through. I was like, But at that point, you're just fighting. All you can do at that point is, if they don't want to take a plea, you can just challenge the evidence, which is constitutionally what you have to do, right? Someone can be guilty, but also be entitled to a not guilty verdict, and that sounds weird to people. But the reason that's true is because if the proof isn't there, if the prosecution has then met their burden to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, the person's entitled to a not guilty verdict. The community's entitled to a not guilty verdict. The system is entitled to a not guilty verdict. We're not a perfect system, but what you definitely don't want is we start cutting corners for people we know are guilty, because that's Richard Jewell. That's what starts happening. Oh, they're guilty, so we, constitutional safeguards, we can cheat a little bit here and there. That's when innocent people start getting clipped. And that, to me, is the worst thing that could ever happen. When I'm representing people who are purely innocent, that's the worst things for me, because then I'm dealing with a pressure that is just enormous. And, if you don't win that case, you feel it's burden for the rest of your life.
If you know somebody's guilty and still represent them and win, isn't that a burden too, though?
No, because that means the system worked. That means the proof wasn't there. As long as I'm not suborning perjury, which I would never do. As long as I'm not making somebody say something that's not true. If someone's guilty and I think they're guilty, but they were found not guilty, that means the proof wasn't there, and we need that person be found not guilty, because it keeps the system strong, keeps all of us safe. Again, lowering the standards for the ones we know are guilty, that's when innocent people start getting convicted, and that's bad. So I could live with that as long as the system was put to the test and I've done my job. It is what it is. The worst thing is if you represent someone who's truly, truly innocent, you know they're truly innocent, and they're being either framed, set up, or for whatever reason there's an agenda. That's the stuff that you lose sleep over, because God forbid they're convicted. I mean, just like, how do you deal with that? How do you carry that with you for the rest of your life? So fortunately, I've not had that happen. I've represented a lot of innocent, truly innocent people. They've all been vindicated, thank God. Because if I had that happen, that would be something that would be very tough to go on with.
Well, we definitely going to keep your number, because if we see any cases that we don't understand, we might need a call to break some things down for us.
He know I'm going to call him.
How many
times I called you before I got you on the phone?
That's right. Well, it's ASAP Joe. Joe Tacopina. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Let's get right to Jess With The Mess.
News is real, whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jess Carabamore, Jess don't do no lies,
She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mess.
On the Breakfast Club.
She's the culture show
with Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back. And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
Okay, y'all. So Attorney Busby, who is the attorney that has all of those civil suits against Diddy.
Yep.
He did have a civil suit in court that he amended to include Jay-Z, but that was voluntarily dismissed a few weeks ago. Now, this over the weekend, I broke a story. If you guys are following me anywhere, Instagram, Twitter, at Lauren LaRosa, we break news when we are outside of the Breakfast Club. I broke a story that the Committee of Grievances, which is like an ethics committee, essentially, they have denied Attorney Busby's right to practice within the Southern District of New York. Now, this is a huge problem because majority of the civil cases that he currently has on record against Diddy are in the Southern District of New York. So if he is not able to move forward with them, they would either he would have to file to be able to come in on these cases pro hac vice, and we'll talk about what that means. But it's a big issue. Now, in response to this, when the news broke, Attorney Busby posted something to his Instagram, and what he posted was that it was a appellate division from something from the appellate division of the Supreme Court of the state of New York. And this basically says that he does have a right to practice, or he has admission in the New York State Court, but it's basically a jurisdiction thing. But he does not have permission. His permission to practice within the Southern District of New York has been denied. Now, like I mentioned, it's a big issue, and because of that, the judge who's on a lot of those civil cases that he filed against Puff said to him, "Hey, I think that you should try to right now come in on these cases against Sean Combs as pro hac vice." And I told you guys that I would let you know what that meant. So pro hac vice is basically so this is like on or for occasion. So basically it's like him saying, "Hey, I'm going to be involved in these cases just solely this one time, but there may be other local attorneys or whoever that have, they're barred in these jurisdictions to be able to move forward with this." Just because if not, it looks like, because basically the committee who denied it, they were basically not upset, but what they leaned on was the fact that in a lot of the other cases before the one that Jay-Z was involved in came to light that there was no admission process, I guess, properly done.
Right.
He had still continued to do whatever he was doing without submitting these things, and he had submitted the one particularly for Jay-Z's case on January 29th. So they're basically telling him, like, you're not following like these easy rules and protocols, so you can't work here anymore. He's saying that this is not true, and that he's crossed his T's and dotted his I's, so he's going to be fine moving forward.
So how is it not true? How can he come out and say it's not true?
Well, what he specifically said is that he said he received many press inquiries over the weekend, and he makes no efforts to respond, but he rather make a one-time general statement and let various entities use the statement as they see fit. Over the past week, he's got multiple inquiries from friends and colleagues asking why he's not barred, or why he's barred from practicing law in New York State, and offering their assistance. He says that he wants to make it clear he's licensed to practice law in New York. He's in good standing with the state bar and have always been. Although he prefers Texas, he's proud of the legal work that he's doing in New York, and he called all of the reports clickbait. Now, I will say, when I released this story, it was from an actual document, a court document that was from the grievances committee. And what I think he's going to try and argue here, or what he's going to have to do to reverse this if he can, I don't even know if that's possible, is just show that there was some proof, I guess, of him submitted these admissions. But I think right now, in my opinion, I'm not an attorney, what he's doing is he's like he's using like technical terms to try and talk around the fact. The fact is that this committee is saying you didn't follow rules within the Southern District of New York, and that's a problem. And no, you cannot lead this. Like, we need you to come in.
So what happens to all the people that he has that's suing Diddy? Do they have to go to another? They have to find another attorney?
No. So what'll happen if from what I understand, if the Pro Hack Vice thing does happen, he'll still be able to be involved, but he'll be working with more local attorneys that are actually okay in that jurisdiction.
Gotcha.
If not, I don't know what happens. I don't know how he litigates. And if that does happen, I have no idea what happens then.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so that back and forth is happening right now. But also too with Puff right now, over the weekend or this Monday, his team filed something that I thought was interesting. They're pushing back on the criminal side. They're saying that all of the evidence that the prosecutor's office gathered in those raids need to be suppressed. Suppressed would mean that you can't use it in court. And they're basically saying that the reason why this stuff should be suppressed is that in order to obtain the search warrants that they did, they're accusing the prosecutor's office of using witnesses that they basically knew weren't credible, witnesses that they knew basically didn't have like really good grounds to stand on. They talk about Cassie particularly and saying that they now have proof that everything that the prosecutor's office said about her involvement on these tapes or whatever was consensual. So to use that to make it look anything but consensual to then get a search warrant is illegal. And they're saying that if it isn't suppressed, they want to have a hearing to just look into the prosecutor's conduct of how they got the search warrant to get this information. So they're like, yo, we need to take and I think they're doing this because this other case just got dismissed on the other side. So they're probably going to try and lean into that.
Well, what happened to racism? Wasn't it racism last week?
Yeah, it's racism last week. This week it is that they violated his the way they got that they got the search warrant was incorrect. I mean, he's going to listen. He's fighting for his life.
He's going to try every angle.
Yeah.
And he just recently had an attorney who backed off the case and said that, I don't want to be involved. It's not the lead attorney. It's not Mark Agnifilio. It was a different guy, but he backed off and said he didn't want to be involved anymore. So I don't know what's happening.
But they said
what was that
was
about? Did you check to see any sources about that, Lord? I wanted to know why did he back up off the case?
They said that he was arguing with I guess the main attorney. Like him and the main attorney didn't get along and they were seeing differently. Was that what happened? That's what I read.
So they're saying that there's been a power struggle. His name is Anthony Rico. He says that there's been a power struggle going on between him and lead attorney Mark Agnifilio for several months, and it finally came to a head. He said
somebody got to be the top and somebody got to be the bottom. Basically.
There you go.
Oh my God!
And somebody didn't want to be the situation.
That's right. That's how it goes. You got to play your position. You got to know when to bend, when to win. Now,
what?
I never heard that. I know you heard that one, Charlamagne.
I ain't never heard that in my life, but I've heard them all. But I ain't never heard. Sometimes you got to know when to bend and when to lend. I like that though.
I know
like
you do.
You like that, Daddy? Look at you.
You
like
be
that,
the bender
Daddy?
or the lender?
No, God, you need to relax.
Party. What's wrong with you?
But yeah, coming back to it though, I do want to say that this whole thing with Attorney Buzz, we will be watching because I'm very interested to see what will happen in this. And again, I'm not an attorney, but from what it seems, the Southern District of New York is tied to him right now
because he has the majority of the accusers.
Yeah, he has over 100 accusers civilly on the civil side. But again, remember,
it's not looking good.
The amended filing with Jay-Z that also
for
had
Busby.
For Busby that also had something to do with Diddy as well was voluntarily dismissed, which is a big there's a question mark when that happens with no settlement. It's like, woo, what are you admitting to here? What's happening?
So what else would be interesting too, Lauren? I would love to hear what the criminal attorneys think of the civil attorneys. And what I mean by that is when you're trying to fight a criminal case, right? And you're putting together a jury, a lot of times, not even a lot of times, in this situation, it feels like the civil cases are louder than his actual criminal cases.
Because they're more descriptive. They're out of the box.
We're learning more. We haven't heard nothing about the criminal side. Remember?
Nothing.
Like we don't know who's on the tapes. We don't know what we still don't know a lot about that.
But and surprisingly, most times people wait. Like most attorneys will wait till after the criminal to start doing all the civil stuff because they're waiting to see what evidence they have or what they can use. It's weird that it seems like they're trying to get that money sooner than later.
But no, yes, that's true. But I just wonder what the criminal attorneys think of what's going on civilly and how is that affecting their criminal case.
And I will say Attorney Busby has been an attorney for some time. I'm not an attorney, and I keep saying that because when I tell y'all this is a very beginner mistake, so I am very interested to see how this plays out. This is a very beginner mistake. If he had just done this earlier, like put in the admissions and everything he was supposed to do, we wouldn't even be here right now having this conversation. So I am extremely interested to see how this plays out, and it does not look good for those other civil suits if it doesn't play out well in his favor.
All right. Well, that is Jess with the Mess with Lola Rosa. Charlamagne!
Yes.
Who you giving that donkey to, man?
Well, this morning, we need the world's richest man, Elon Musk, to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him, please.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake up. You're locked into the Breakfast Club.
Some donkey today's just saw themselves.
I've been watching Charlamagne. I was ready for it.
I never heard of a donkey the other day. What is it?
I'm a donkey.
Say it again, Charlamagne.
I'm a donkey.
Yes, you are a donkey.
So I'll show you how to act a donkey.
Everything that Charlamagne is saying is true.
Yes, donkey today for Monday, February 24th goes to the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. Now, I don't know who people voted for in 2024. Okay, some of us voted for Vice President Kamala Harris. Some people clearly voted for the 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. Some people voted for the Green Party. Some people wrote in candidates. But I know one person folks didn't vote for, and that person is the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. But for some reason, Elon Musk, who is an immigrant from South Africa, for some reason, this man is in control of how the government spends its money. Not only is he in control of how the government spends his money, he's the reason that over 12,000 federal workers have been fired as part of the Trump administration's broad effort to slash the federal workforce of 2.3 million people. How do you feel knowing that you are a federal worker who voted for Donald J. Trump and in his first 30 days you are out of a job? Elections do indeed have consequences, and sadly, because of a choice you made, you have to live unemployed with those consequences. It's amazing to me how they are just playing with people's lives, though. You can't just cut people's jobs indiscriminately, okay? For example, they fired hundreds of employees from the National Nuclear Security Administration. These are people who oversee the stockpile of nuclear weapons. Okay, and then they realized, wait, we need these people. Okay, they tried to rehire them because their dismissal could jeopardize national security. All right, Elon Musk and the Trump administration also fired employees who worked on the bird flu response. Okay, and they're trying to rehire them as well. It's a mess. And I personally don't understand how an administration can say they are America first, but they have a South African immigrant causing pain to so many Americans. That is not what they voted for. But this weekend on X, of course, Elon Musk suggested that workers could lose their jobs if they didn't respond to an email blast from the Office of Personnel Management asking for a list of 5 things they did in the past week. I repeat, Elon Musk suggested that workers could lose their jobs if they didn't respond to an email blast from the Office of Personnel Management asking for a list of 5 things they did in the past week. I can't make this kind of stuff up. Let's go to NBC News for the report, please.
What did you do last week? That's the question Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency team insist all federal workers must answer in an email. Musk adding on his social media platform X that failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. 3 sources tell NBC News those emails were already being received by federal employees Saturday, asking them to send 5 bullet points of what they accomplished last week, but noting employees should not include classified information. The deadline for replying set for Monday at 11:59 p.m.
Now listen. I have to give credit to Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel. Tulsi is the U.S. Director of National Intelligence, and Kash Patel is the new FBI Director. And they joined a growing list of department heads who have told their employees to ignore the request from Elon Musk and Doge. Because, yes, why is anyone listening to him? Okay, not just those 2 individuals, though. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and Department of Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem. They've all told employees to disregard that email, because at some point, someone with some sense has to reject the oligarchy. All right, the billionaires don't run America. Working class people do. And if you are an official in the government, you work for working class people. Because trust and believe, Americans will remember who caused them pain, and there will be backlash at some point. Not to mention, I believe that someone needs to check Donald Trump's toupee to make sure there isn't one of Elon Musk's Neuralinks devices in there. Okay, something isn't right. All right, Elon has some sort of mind control over Donald Trump, and every time Donald Trump is in a press briefing, one simple question should come up, and that question is, who is the real president of the United States of America? Every time he's in a press briefing, when one of y'all get an opportunity to answer or to ask a question, y'all should ask that every single time, because we know who it is on paper. But who's really calling the shots? Elon and Trump are giving record label owner artist vibes. Okay, watching Elon, stand next to Trump is like watching Birdman stand next to Wayne back in the day. It's like watching Diddy stand next to Big back in the day. It's like watching Yo Gotti and Glorilla now. No matter how hot the artist is, you can clearly see who's in charge. Now, here's the reason Elon Musk absolutely deserves this hee-haw. Okay, this man said on yesterday that he was just eager to see who had a pulse and 2 working neurons amid the claims that some government employees are barely working or checking their emails. Can you imagine if you worked in government and you are in charge of things that could put this country's national security at risk? You are in charge of containing diseases that could kill millions of people, and you have an unelected immigrant from another country playing with you on a weekend? We have to start putting some things in perspective. And one thing we need to put in perspective is we are post-America, okay? We are post-Constitution. This isn't about Republican or Democrat. This is about democracy or no democracy. And I don't know what the political solution is to this problem, because we aren't dealing with the democracy that we once knew. And until we, the people, identify and realize what game is actually being played at our expense, we will continue to lose. Please give the oligarch in chief, Elon Musk, the biggest hee-haw.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
That's so sad.
All right. Well, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. This will probably sit with Charlamagne well, because we're talking a little bit of ugly. Now, this conversation comes from a Glorilla lyric. So we're asking 800-585-1051. Ladies, do you like your men with a little bit of ugly?
You just heard Glorilla say she do. You know, first of all, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Always remember that. Beauty is subjective. That's number one.
Ugly guy would say that.
There's nothing wrong with being medium ugly. Okay, I've been medium ugly my whole life, and this worked very well for me.
Well, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Do you like your man with a little bit of ugly?
Love a medium ugly, a little smugly.
You like
Ain't
smugly?
nothing wrong with that.
Charlamagne, you're not medium ugly though. You like well done ugly.
Jesus. All right.
I just want you to know.
Well, let's take your phone calls.
Your mama don't even believe that.
Oh.
Tell the truth.
What?
Go ahead and tell the truth. Tell the truth. Shame the devil one time.
We'll do it when we come back.
What your mama say?
800.
Tell her what your mama say, Lauren.
585-1051. Don't say nothing. We'll do it when we come back. All right. Wow. Do you like your men with a little bit of ugly? We'll take your calls when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Pull out your phone. Call in right now.
Call me.
Add your opinion to the Breakfast Club topic.
Break it down.
800-585-1051. The Breakfast Club.
Steady calling my phone.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking about this Glorilla line. All right, Glorilla said this line, and it was trending all weekend. So we're asking 800-585-1051. Ladies, do you like your man with a little bit of ugly? Now, Lauren?
Yes.
You said yes.
Yeah, I do. They adore you. I told y'all that before. They adore you a different way. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like they still have that PTSD of being like their whole ugly self, and then like they kind of got a little cute, so they get a little play now, so they know how to maneuver, but they adore you because they happy to be there.
Now, right before break, Charlamagne was talking that your mother said that he was handsome.
My mom said he was smart, okay? So that says a lot. She complimented your brains and not your beauty.
Now, who in your family said
your mom actually said I was smart and handsome, first of all. That's
my mom smokes a lot of marijuana.
Well, hold on. But who in your family said Charlamagne was...
My grandmother thinks that Charlamagne is the...
How old is...
My grandmother is 8. She'll be 87 this year.
Okay. Does she drive by herself?
Yeah. Oh, no. My grandmama is... Yeah. She
outside. Does she wear glasses?
Yes.
Does she have glasses on when she sees Charlamagne?
You know what? She might have had them off.
See? Exactly.
I'm fully aware that, I am 90s rom-com fine. So being that I am 90s rom-com fine, I represent for all the bald head, melanated brothers who were in all those movies in the 90s. And there's a certain generation that appreciates that level of handsome. See, Lauren, your generation don't use words like handsome no more.
Nope.
Y'all
we
say
like
fine.
S word. I can't
you know
say
what I'm saying?
Like,
you
my fine S.
handsome is like the finest of cognacs, like the most vintage of cars. Like when you say something is handsome, that's a different level of beauty. And I represent for all the handsome brothers out there, the 90s rom-com fine brothers, okay? And I want to say something else. Some of y'all women medium ugly too, but you don't know it. Okay, but actually you do know it. You know it when you go home and you take off that wig. You know it when you go home and you take off that makeup. You know it when you wake up in the morning. Okay.
I was fresh faced on Friday.
Why are you shooting at these women this morning?
Yeah, because we know. I think he's trying to be funny.
You think he's talking to you?
First of all, I'm not talking about you, Lauren.
Oh, I know you're not.
I'm just saying that a lot of women are medium ugly underneath it all.
Okay.
And some of you guys is more than medium ugly when y'all get that Beijing out your bed.
Watch your mouth. Let's go to the phone line. I don't use Beijing, by the way.
He don't got no face on Zoom this morning. His ugly face ain't on Zoom.
He was two-tone before. Hello, who's this?
Hi, it's Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you like your men with a little bit of ugly?
I do. I love my men with a little bit of ugly.
Why is that?
They treat you way better. They treat you better. I ain't gonna lie. I learned that as I got older. And at the end of the day, looks will fade when you get older. It's all about the person, but they treat you how they treat you.
So you look for an ugly man?
I love him. He ain't got to be completely ugly.
Yeah, like medium ugly, not fully ugly. It's like
y'all got to give me an example, man. What y'all call? Because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. What's medium ugly?
I think somebody that's medium ugly.
Yeah, like 45% ugly.
Like who? Who's in it? What's an example?
Who? Give us an example.
Who's like 45% ugly? I can't think of nobody right now.
Because there ain't no such thing.
No, it is. I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Y'all just making up stuff.
All right, let's go to Taylor on line 6. Taylor, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, Taylor, do you like your man with a little bit of ugly?
I love my man with a little bit of ugly.
Why is that?
Because like I just feel like men aren't supposed to be pretty. Like, why are you so pretty? For what? I just feel like it's not manly to be pretty.
We born like that. We can't help ourselves.
But Skepta is a gorgeous man, and he's manly. You know what Skepta looks like?
Yeah.
He is gorgeous, and he's very manly.
Yeah, but he's just too pretty. I don't like pretty men.
Taylor, give me an example of a medium ugly man, Taylor. Taylor, give me an example, please.
I have an example of a medium ugly man. I mean, Duke Dennis is medium ugly for sure.
I thought he wasn't that bad.
I'm trying to think. He's very handsome, but he's just not, like, pretty. You know? Like, when you have, like, pretty features, really symmetrical, like, there's no roughness or, like, you know, masculinity in your face. It's just real feminine and pretty, and I don't like that. Let me think of another example of a medium ugly man. I feel like Gucci is medium ugly.
Okay, yeah.
Gucci man, okay.
Yeah, like I feel like Pop Smoke was medium ugly.
God bless him.
God bless him. R.I.P. that man.
Okay.
Chris Brown is pretty, too pretty for me. What's his name? Michael Ealy is too pretty.
Damn. You women got some.
I'm gonna tell you though, I don't like this though, because she called the two dark skinned brothers Gucci and Pop Smoke medium ugly, but she called the two red bones pretty. I don't like that.
Well, Michael is brown skin, right? He's a lighter brown, and Chris is light.
Ealy is light skin to me.
All right, well we all light skin.
Chris Brown and Michael Ealy are fine.
They beige. I don't like that. But listen, let's switch it a little bit.
NBA Youngboy's medium ugly.
I need to know who y'all think is medium ugly.
NBA Young. I'm going through my music playlist because it's just easier to do. Like when you have something to look at. I would say NBA Youngboy's medium ugly. Who else? A Boogie medium ugly.
This is crazy.
This is real crazy. But 800.
This is crazy.
585.
I'm judging women like this all week long.
800 585
1051.
1051.
Medium ugly.
Do you like your men with a little bit of ugly, and who do you call medium ugly? Let's discuss this. The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Call. Made it.
If y'all talking about it, you know we talking about it. It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, we're talking about this Glorilla line right here. This is where it came from. We're asking 800-585-1051. Do you like your men with a little bit of ugly? And who is a little bit of ugly to you? What men are a little bit ugly to you so we can have a scale, so we can understand who you're talking about?
Man, they just broke my heart in here.
What happened?
They brought up 50. They said 50 is on the medium ugly list. But maybe that's why I think he's so attractive.
Say the person who said it.
No.
let 50 see their Instagram. 50 gonna be going at their Instagram all week.
No,
She's pregnant.
He does live in that medium space, but it works for him though, because the energy just gives what it needs to give.
First of all, beauty is subjective. Okay, like y'all out here calling people medium ugly, and some of these people that y'all call medium ugly, folks think is fine. Okay,
yeah, no, and energy matters a lot more with men, like your aura and how you demand the room, than your looks, in my opinion.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Najee.
Hey, Najee, good morning. We're asking a couple of questions. Do you like your men with a little bit of ugly, and who is medium ugly to you?
I do like my men medium ugly. And what do you mean by who?
Like who? Like if we want to, like, how do you describe medium ugly? Like describe
Who's
it.
medium ugly to you?
Yeah, what celebrity? What man?
I feel like that guy that Mufasa guy. I feel like he's medium ugly. I think he's too pretty till he's ugly. Medium ugly.
Jesus.
I kind of understand what you mean. It's hard to describe. Like it's like, okay, he's fine. It's Mufasa, but like his features is a little. They got to settle in.
He got ears.
They got to settle in. I give him medium ugly.
Yeah.
Baby, shut your ass up and be like, he got ears. He got ears. Sit one out. Like, seriously, do you ever know when to sit one out? Can you not read the room? You got two women describing a man's looks, and here you go talk about, he got ears. He got ears.
He's a handsome brother. He just got ears.
Man, shut your ass up, man. God damn.
Hello, who's this?
Can we talk about who's medium gay? Envy's medium gay.
Y'all well done on that side too.
And you well done gay. Hello, Kay.
What's the word? It's Katie from Mississippi.
Hey, what's up, Kay from Mississippi? Who's medium ugly to you?
Man, Big Mac just texted me. I told him ASAP Rocky.
Have you ever seen ASAP Rocky in real life, like outside of photos and videos?
I have not, but Rihanna can do a little better. But
Yeah.
Love is love.
I would challenge you to see him in real life and then come back. In real life, ASAP Rocky. Photos and videos do him no justice. That man is gorgeous.
Did she say Big Mac just text her?
I'm trying to tell you, only because I used to be like, I don't really get the ASAP hype. Like, he fly, but I didn't really get it. And then I seen him in person. I was like, oh, like he literally glistens.
Ooh, okay, then I heard that. I'm gonna take your word.
Sorry, Reed. I know that shit, man. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? It's just a topic.
Okay.
Go Navy.
Once again, this is why I say it's all subjective, because the woman on the phone thought he was medium ugly. Lauren thought he fine.
That's
See
right.
what I'm saying?
Oh my God, ASAP is.
Well, we just hung up on somebody, but they were saying that to them, all studs look medium ugly.
Okay, I can see where they're going.
What that got to do with anything? We talking about men, bro.
I don't know. I guess that's why
we talk about men. Why would you bring it? You see what I'm saying? Studs. Next time y'all see Envy out, jump him, because he brought y'all in this for no goddamn reason, and he misidentified y'all.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Why would you hang up on that person? I wanted to hear what they had to say.
What's the moral of the story? Come on, y'all.
The moral of the story is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, it's all subjective. That's the way I look at it.
The moral of the story is some people well done and they don't know it.
All right. Well,
Charlamagne.
We got Jess With The Mess coming up.
I bet you will never show up without no wig on.
And Meek Mill braids, with just my braids under?
I bet you on shit. Oh, you know what? I got a picture with you. Matter of fact, I'm going to post that today since you want to be sporty.
Are you gonna post it when I wrap my hair with the photo shoot and how gorgeous I look? You go right ahead. You don't have a picture of me with my Meek Mill braids. I know you don't.
I got a picture of you. I definitely got all my life I had to fight picture of you. You ain't even got to worry about that.
Ain't nothing medium ugly about me. I mean, I
ain't say you medium ugly.
It depends on because when we posted this before, people was in my comments like, she must not know she medium ugly, and I'm like, hey, to each his own.
Oh, so you heard this phrase before, medium ugly?
Not to me in real life. Don't play with me.
Oh, okay.
People in the comments just trying to be funny. But yes, we do have Jess With The Mess coming up. Irv Gotti's brother, Chris Gotti, talked a bit more about Irv Gotti's passing and what actually was, the reasoning behind his passing. So we're going to talk about that.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to Jess With The Mess.
News is real, whether it's Jess Hilarious, Jessica Robin Moore, just don't do no lies,
She don't spare nobody.
Worldwide Jess, worldwide Mess.
On The Breakfast Club.
She's the culture shit.
With Lauren LaRosa.
I'm back. And I got the mess.
Talk to me.
Okay, so Irv Gotti's brother, Chris Gotti, he sat down on a platform called Two Way. And on this platform, he talked with Dame Dash, who was also a special guest. And it was a special that they did on how to cope with stroke risk and diabetes. And they did it in memory of Irv Gotti. Let's take a listen to what Chris Gotti had to say about Irv Gotti's passing.
When was your brother diagnosed with diabetes?
Wow. So he's 54. I believe he was diagnosed when he was in his 40s. But Irv doesn't go to the doctor, so that's why he's so late being diagnosed, right? And then when he finally did go get a real physical and a checkup, he's like, you're diabetic, and he didn't believe it. Irv was type 1. Actually, it started with type 2, developed into type 1. And when we talk about this topic, why it's so dear and sensitive for me, is I watched him suffer the last 3 years of his life. Sadly enough, he did go on his terms. He just didn't believe it, and he was like, I'm going to go the way basically I wanted. He ate a bunch of Chinese food while playing poker and had a massive hemorrhagic stroke, which is bleeding on the brain.
Yeah. So a hemorrhagic stroke, by definition, occurs when a blood vessel in the brain bursts and causes the bleeding, as he mentioned. And I know some people have questions about the difference between type 1 and type 2. Per what I see on Google, the difference is how the body processes the insulin. In type 1 diabetes, the body's immune system attacks and destroys the cells in the pancreas and that produce the insulin, meaning it cannot make the insulin at all. While type 2 diabetes, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
While type 2 diabetes, the body still produces the insulin, but the cells become resistant to its effects.
Yeah, I never heard of what did he say? Type 1 became 2? I didn't
type
know that was possible.
1, I think he said.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I do know some people were disputing that as well. I don't know that.
Yeah, I'm sure some doctors will correct him later. But man, the biggest takeaway from what Chris Gotti said just now is that Irv Gotti didn't like to go to the doctor. We get on this radio all the time, and have been getting on this radio for years, telling y'all take y'all ass to the doctor. I don't care what it is. I done had prostate exams, colonoscopies, endoscopies, every single, cardiovascular test that you can think of. Salute to Dr. Puma and Soren Medical. Like, you got to take your ass to the doctor. There's no way around it if you want to live.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. That's why we talk about it so much. I know a lot of y'all say y'all share a lot, but the reason we share so much is because we want you guys to go to the doctor. We want you comfortable and thinking that you can go to the doctor and call and talk to your peoples about it, because we need to. We need to make sure that we're checking up on each other, that we're going to our appointments, that we're checking our blood pressure, that we're making sure that we're checking our salts, our sugar levels, our heart, and everything in between. We gotta make sure. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for your kids, do it for your wife, do it for whoever's in your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I gotta have so many people die over things that could possibly have been prevented if they just simply had went to the doctor. And I know we make jokes about the prostate exam, but yes, go get a prostate exam. Like, go get a colonoscopy. Like, we put it like this: if you like to laugh, having stuff up your butt is always funny, but at least you got something up your butt for a good reason.
Okay.
Okay.
Great PSA.
But somebody might like it up for that reason, another reason. But anyway, go ahead, continue on.
Yeah. Well, shifting gears and places.
Okay.
Simon Gabadia. I always say his last name wrong, but that is the estranged husband of Portia Williams, who appeared on Real Housewives of Atlanta with her. We found out over the weekend that he was actually detained by ICE. So he is currently being held in the Stewart Detention Center in Lumpkin, Georgia.
Somebody called ICE on him?
Something happened. No, something happened.
Yo.
They then came and got him. Now, he's a Nigerian philanthropist. And again, you guys remember him because he was on the show with her. He was at once married to the girl Fallon. Then he got with Portia. That was a whole storyline. And him and Portia have recently decided not to be together anymore. And there were conversations around why she decided to, go through a divorce with him. It was money conversations. And she said that she just found out that he wasn't exactly who he said he was in the beginning. And she didn't want any parts of it. And now we're seeing this happen as well, too. Now, Portia spoke out not too long after this news hit and said, "It's disheartening to see my estranged husband make choices that have led to this outcome. At this moment, my priority is moving forward with my family in the prayer hands." So,
well, yeah, if you look at it, they said he migrated from Nigeria to the U.S. in '82, but he overstayed his visa, so he was declared deportable in 1985, and then they said he was arrested in '87 for bank and credit card fraud. He is Nigerian, and then he was arrested 2 additional times, so he was deported to Nigeria in 1992, but then he came back a month later.
Yeah.
So and then he applied for citizenship in 2016, but he was denied by the U.S. government because his previous status was unlawfully granted.
And from what the reports are, this actually happened while he was reapplying for trying to figure out all the mess that Charlamagne was just talking about with the citizenship.
So he was on television knowing he wasn't supposed to be here?
Trying to figure out, maybe
that's wild.
It seems to me
it's like
like
playing
I think
in people's face.
I think
but
though
Portia fine though, man. So I can understand taking him the risk.
I can understand the risk. What does that have to do with ice? She melt the ice? Like what? I'm confused.
No, I can understand the risk that Simon was taking. I can understand it.
He's a business owner here. He's making money. Like, so maybe he thought that, things would work out.
But on the first time, he wasn't with Portia on the show the first time. He was with somebody else.
I don't know.
Fallon was fine too.
Who was it? Who was the other one?
Fallon. She was. It was crazy.
That was his first wife, right?
Yeah, but she was just like, she had a smaller storyline on the show, but they tried to make her and Portia seem like they was homegirls on the show. So then when Portia got with him, it was like, oh my God, I thought that was your friend, and she had to come out and be like, that was not my friend. We was just on the show together.
Wow. So what happens to his house?
I just mean this in the most respectful way as a married man. I can understand why he would take the risk of wearing matching pajamas with Portia all over Instagram and be all over the reality shows with her. I can understand why.
Now he's sitting in that detention center just reminiscing on it, huh?
Well, that's all you got is your stories when you're locked up. So that's a great story to have.
What happened to his house, though? His house, his cars, who gets that? Because he's no longer here.
He has children and I'm assuming other family here. So maybe they'll figure that out. I don't know specifically.
I thought Portia had the house. Portia don't got the house?
I don't know her to have that. I know she had one of the cars. They were going back and forth about one of the cars. I'm not for sure who has what in that. The divorce hasn't finalized yet with them either. They're still going through the process of that. But I did reach out to ISO to try and get some more information on what's about to happen.
ICE?
Yes.
You reached out to ICE?
You can reach out to them. They have a media department.
What number is that?
It's an email.
Man, give me the number, Lord.
Don't you give him that number.
I know somebody that might need to be investigated.
Don't you give him that number.
They have departments in every state, and you can reach out, especially if you're a media outlet, to obtain information for clarity. And that's what I did because I had a lot of questions like you guys did, and as you see, I can't answer them yet. So when I can, I'll be back with that.
Do they have a tip line though? That's what I need.
Shut up, man.
God. All right, y'all. Dang.
You got one time. One more quick.
Which should I go to? It's so much good stuff. Okay, so Wendy Williams, and you guys know that we've been keeping you up with Wendy Williams here at the Breakfast Club. Yesterday, I broke an exclusive. I spoke to Wendy Williams, and she says that she's back at square one, fighting for her life with next to nothing. So she's alleging that her guardian, Sabrina Morsi, has recently hired 4 high, top-notch attorneys to protect herself from Wendy Williams and also from Lifetime. So Wendy says this week she had to fire her current attorney. That was the black woman attorney that she was really excited about because this person wasn't appointed by the court. But she said that she had to fire her because things were not working out, and now she needs to assemble a legal team. So she's back at square one. She's saying that she might have to go through something called a linking hearing, which is something where they're able to see if she's capable of choosing her own lawyer. But the issue that she has with that is even if they allow her to choose her own attorney, what I'm told is that the attorney will still be from a list of attorneys that the court selects, and she doesn't want to do that. She wants to be able to choose her own attorney. She's very confused about why she has to do the linking hearing. The linking hearing is something that they use like when kids are in court and it's a custody battle and they're like, they want to figure out where the kid wants to be. They use that same type of interview that a judge does, but with the conservatee, like the person who's in a conservatorship. So she doesn't understand why she has to do that. She feels like she's proven that she's more than capable enough to make these decisions. So now she just wants you guys to know what's going on. So she wanted us to let you guys know that she's trying to figure it out all over again, attorney wise at this point.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Jess with the Mess, Lauren.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right. When we come back, we got the People's Choice Mix. Get your request in. Don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess, and it's Black History Month. What we doing?
Man, listen, every day during Black History Month, my guy BDaht puts out an episode of I Didn't Know, Maybe You Didn't Either on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network. And we're going to learn today about how Jasmine Evans got left off the kidney transplant list, not because she wasn't qualified, but because someone decided to play doctor based on stereotypes. Let's discuss.
I didn't know, maybe you didn't. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know.
See, Jasmine needed a kidney transplant, something critical for her survival. But instead of being placed on the list like any qualified patient, she was left off. Why? Because of assumptions rooted in stereotypes about black women. Now, we've been discussing medical apartheid all season, and this is just another branch on that tree. The doctors didn't doubt her medical condition. They doubted her ability to comply with post-transplant care. Let that sink in. Despite meeting the necessary criteria, they judged her based on who they thought she was, not who she actually is. They assumed she lacked support or discipline. Assumptions tied to harmful narratives about our sisters. This is bigger than Jasmine, though. Black women are at the heart of our community. They're our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our partners. Yet many times they're often disregarded, disrespected, and dismissed. In healthcare, studies show they're less likely to receive proper pain management, less likely to be listened to, and more likely to face barriers to life-saving treatments. Jasmine's story isn't an isolated case. It's a reflection of a system that undervalues black women's lives. But here's the thing. Jasmine didn't give up. She fought back. She raised her voice and exposed the bias that nearly robbed her of her future. After public pressure, she was finally placed on the kidney transplant list. But that fight shouldn't have been necessary. Black women shouldn't have to battle every step of the way just to get what they deserve. So fellas, this is where we come in. Supporting black women isn't just about words. It's about action. It's about showing up for them and standing beside them and speaking up when they're being wronged. It's about recognizing that their fight is our fight too. We know how much black women do for us. We know how much black women mean to us. They hold us down. They lift us up. They fight for us when nobody else will. And Jasmine's story is a reminder that we need to do the same for them. Let's honor their strength by making sure that the systems that failed them are held accountable. Let's be the men who stand in the gap. Because when black women thrive, you already know our entire community thrives. Jasmine's fight ain't over, and neither is ours. So let's commit to making this world safer, fairer, and more just for the black women we love. Okay, bye.
All right, well, happy Black History Month.
Man, thank you, BDaht, and make sure you subscribe to the I Didn't Know, Maybe You Didn't Either podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network, available everywhere you listen to podcasts.
All right, when we come back, we got the positive note and more, so don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And we got a salute to Joe Tacopina. That is ASAP Rocky's defense attorney. He also represented people like Donald J. Trump, Michael Jackson, A-Rod, Meek Mill, just to name a few. He stopped through. Check out the full interview. Very insightful. So, salute to that brother.
Very informative conversation, man. I love talking to attorneys because I love just their thought process on things, you know, and it's interesting to hear somebody like Joe talk about the cases he didn't choose to do, especially being that he's represented a lot of controversial cases.
He don't sleep.
Absolutely. Salute to Joe.
Yeah, he needs a documentary based on his life too, by the way.
I think so too. All right, and Lauren, you got something?
Yes. So in exactly 2 months, 27 days and 14 hours, we will be in the Dominican Republic. I'm hosting the HBCU Black.
You getting your body done?
No. Why do you keep asking me if I'm getting my body done as if there's something wrong with my body? Are you trying to tell me
I'm just saying, that's what
this
people
is
go
the
to
second
DR
time
for
that you brought that up.
People
You got something you want to say?
How you know I wasn't going to ask advice about me? What about if I wanted to do
What, you
it?
trying to get your abs together?
Yes.
You need to focus on them arms.
I don't understand why you keep, you're right, you're absolutely right, Lauren. He's been need to focus on his arms for years, but I don't understand why you're concerned about what that young lady does with her body, her choice.
Correct.
First of all, not the way, not now you Mr. Your Body, Your Choice, the way you be attacking every piece of hair on this body or anything.
It's a wig. It's not yours.
It's not your body.
Well, I'm going to be in DR, y'all. I'm not getting my body done, but we are going to have a good time. I'm there for the Memorial Day Getaways, HBCU, and Black Alumni Weekend. It's 6 days, 5 nights, all inclusive. I will be doing parties, day parties, night parties. We're going to eat, we're going to drink, we're going to have a great time. It's always a good time when I'm there, so make sure y'all pop out. Get your tickets now at memorialdaygetaway.com and tell them Lauren LaRosa sent you at checkout.
All right. Well, you got a positive note?
I do. And the positive note comes from one of my favorite follows on Instagram, at The Healing Guide. You should follow Healing Guide on Instagram. But they posted, nothing kills you faster than your own mind. Don't stress over things that are out of your control. Your own thoughts and worries can harm you more than anything else. When you stress too much about things that you cannot change, it affects your mental and physical health. Overthinking and worrying make you feel anxious, tired, and even sick. Instead of focusing on things beyond your control, it's better to accept them and focus on what you can change. Letting go of unnecessary stress will help you stay happier and healthier. Y'all have a great day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?